Boom. All right. Perfect. All right, so we're going to start, as always, raising the hands up. And we're going to stretch as tall as you can. Imagine that you're hanging from your wrists. Let those shoulders open. Let the rib cage open. Stretch goes and go all the way down to the base of your spine. And then we're going to forward fold. Swan dive down into a forward fold. And let anything wiggle that needs to wiggle while you're down there. Wrists, elbows, shoulders, head and neck, spine, especially that tailbone. Then we're going to roll the spine to come back up. Good. Arms are going to go back up overhead again. Palms are going to face the ceiling. And we're going to do a circle on the ceiling. And reverse. Beautiful. Palms face down, and we pull one arm behind the head gently. A little bit of lateral flexion in the spine. And then we switch other side. Switch. And switch. And back to center. Okay, so first thing I notice here is if I'm going to teach in here, I need to not wear black pants because it's like I have no lower body. Right, so I'm going to wear my linen pants when we do this here. Awesome. Pull one arm in front of your body. Other arm goes underneath the elbow. Pull it back in towards your chest. And we're going to rotate up and down gently. Really let that rotator cuff melt like butter. Just rotating up and down softly. In yoga, they always hold stretches still. In Tai Chi, switch. We're always moving in our stretches. You relax far more fibers that way. You get deeper into the joints. And release. Good. We're going to do arm circles. Biggest circle you can find. You're all that cracking. And then reverse. Yeah. My right one's cracking like peanuts. Good. And back to center. Shoulder circles. Good. Isolate only one shoulder circles. And other shoulder. And we alternate one and then the other. Good. Back to center. And then we're going to twist from the dantian, feet or shoulder width apart. Twisting from the dantian, arms loose and floppy like limp noodles. Shoulders completely relaxed. I'm going to relax the hips, the knees, and the ankles.
More popping.
More popping. Pay close attention to the feeling of your arms as they move through space, especially the feeling of gravity pulling them down and in. We're going to use the awareness of gravity to get into deeper and deeper levels of relaxation. Good. And back to the center. Hip circles. Start small. Search for any resistance, any tension, any fear, especially in the low back. inside the hip sockets, the sciatic nerve, reverse. Good. And feet together, hands on the knees, circles with the knees. Reverse. Good. And toes on the floor, circles with the heels. These right now. Okay, so we started about 15 minutes late. Do you guys need to be out of there as though we started on time?
I don't, do you?
Okay.
Okay, so we'll do a whole hour from 1:45 my time. Make sure you get both of those ankles. Okay. Good, so that's just warm-up stretches. Now we're going to begin to move into Qigong, but we're going to start with weight, stance, and walking. This is going to be really important to connecting all of these things. We're going to start with proper stance. You guys stay facing forward. I'm going to turn sideways just so you can see. Proper stance, your feet are going to be directly underneath your hips. And your knees are never locked here. This traps energy in the backs of the legs. So your knees are always slightly bent. Hips are not flat level, and they're not tilted sway back here. Hips are slightly rolled under to straighten the spine so that energy goes down into the legs, not gets trapped right here. Hips are rocked a little bit forward. Shoulders are relaxed. Not here, not forward, not back like military style. They're completely relaxed. And you imagine a string, the top of your head, your whole spine hangs from that string like beads. Okay? So we're going to take a few breaths here, and I want you to visualize your ankles. And we're going to imagine the ankles melting like butter with your exhale, so that you can feel your chest really subtly begin to sway like seaweed in the ocean. It's a much different feeling when you allow yourself to float than when you let yourself stand like a statue. And so I want you to feel this sensation of floating, because it's this floating space that everything in Tai Chi happens from. Nothing in Tai Chi happens like a stiff statue. Good. Now from this floating space, we're going to start to work with our shifts. We're going to take the, let's see, so this is my left. If you guys hold out your left hand, it's going to be your other one. Okay, right. So hold out your right hand. Okay, so we're going to shift that direction first. Your weight shifts over that foot. Now when you do this properly, you should be able to pick the other foot up without changing your weight at all. Okay, that's a properly balanced shift. All of my weight is on that foot if I can pick the other one up. Now we shift the weight onto that other foot. That's going to be your left foot. And we want to get all of that weight there so we can pick the other foot up. Okay, now we're going to shift back and shift back. We're shifting with the hips, staying completely flat and completely level. We're moving straight across, not going up or down. Shift once, shift back. Shift once, shift back. Good. Stay on this side now. Weight's here. With the weight on that foot, twist the hips and the torso to face the wall. Now with the body facing this way, shift in that direction. Now twist the torso all the way towards the other wall. And then shift in that direction. So we're going to twist and then shift. Twist and then shift. Twist, shift. Twist, shift. Okay, now we're going to stay facing this wall, and we're going to shift backwards. And then twist, shift backwards, and then twist. Shift, and twist, shift, and twist. Good, back to center. Check it out. Okay, so this shift is the basis of our walk. We shift that weight so we can pick our foot up and place it down somewhere else, okay? How do we do our steps? We've done this before. We're going to do it again. Let's everybody step backwards like 3 steps. Okay, good. We're going to do cat stance. So your, this is my left, so your right foot will be forward. Your other foot is back. Imagine there's a straight line in front of Nancy. So Nancy, both of your heels should be on that line, facing forward. And then both of your feet should be 45 degrees this way, towards the corner of the room. Weight is on your back leg. There's no weight on my front leg, so I can pick it up without shifting my balance. Okay, that's cat stance. So from this stance, we shift the weight onto the front foot, and then we shift the weight onto the back foot. Then we pivot that front foot all the way to 45 degrees on this side, and then we take a step very gently forward, placing the heel down first, still heels in a straight line, and feet 45 degrees this way. Now we shift forward, we shift back, pivot that front foot, step, shift forward, shift back, pivot that front foot, step, shift forward, shift back, pivot that front foot, step. Good. And back, reset. Again, start cat stance. Right foot's forward, both feet 45 degrees, weights on the back leg, shift forward, shift back, pivot that front foot, step, shift forward, shift back, pivot that front foot, step, shift, shift, pivot, step, shift, shift, pivot, step. Okay, good. From right here, we're going to pick that front leg up, find your balance. It's somewhere in there. Soften your ankle, soften your knee, soften your hip. Keep your eyes focused on one thing. If your eyes move around, it's going to be much harder. Foot slides straight back, toe comes down, and as you're shifting the weight onto that foot, the front foot pivots back to this side. And we're back in cat stance, feet in a straight line forward. Joanne, feet in a straight line towards me.
Towards you.
Sorry, your heel's in a straight line towards me, and then your feet point 45-degree angle. Yeah. Front leg comes up. Find that balance. Much better. Foot goes straight back, toe comes down. As you shift the weight, front foot pivots back to cat stance here. Weight's on the back leg, knees bent, front leg comes up. Step back, shift the weight, pivot the front foot. Front foot comes up. Step back, shift and pivot. One more, front foot comes up. Step back, shift and pivot. Okay, so this is what that looks like from the side. It's here. Make sense? Yes?
Yes, Nick. Don't overthink it, Joanne.
I'm okay.
Come back to the front. Let's do backwards one more time. Come back to the front. Cat stance. Heels in a straight line. Feet at 45-degree angle. Front foot comes up. Slide back. Shift and pivot.
I'm not figuring out I'm confused here.
Just get in cat stance here, Joanne. Weights on the back foot. Front foot comes up. When that foot goes back, let it go straight back behind you. Joanne, you're doing this,
Oh,
and you need to do this. Straight back
Okay.
towards the wall. And then when you pivot that front foot, yep.
I don't, it just doesn't. No,
Yeah.
right.
Get behind Nancy right now, Joanne. Get behind Nancy and move with Nancy. Don't look at the video screen. Look at Nancy. Front foot up. Step back. Good. Front foot up. Step back. Good. One more. Front foot up. Step back. Good. Shake it out. Was that easier, Joanne?
Yep.
Awesome. Back to normal positions. Okay, shake out those legs. All right, now we're going to get into some upper body, and we're going to begin to learn the combinations for the first part of the form. We're going to start ward off. And you guys know the bottom hand is going to open like a frisbee. And then it's going to scoop down to come back to the center. And then it's going to open like a frisbee, like an octopus tentacle, scooping down. And one more time, opening and scooping down. Good. Then we combine that with the top hand sinking down, and we imagine this is a piston pushing down, and that's pushing that other hand out. Okay? And we come back, and then we push that hand down, and we open. Okay, so all you guys are doing this, and your chest is staying forward. When you do that ward off, we want the chest to turn with that arm this way. And there's a reason for that when it comes to the application of this movement. You'll find that out later. From right here, ward off, twisting, and opening. Good. Back to your ball. Now we're going to add our shift. So we're going to shift onto the left leg, and then we shift right as we do our ward off. Shift back, inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Okay, hold here. Andy? Yep, there you go. And bottom hand should be around your belly button. Bottom hand around your belly button, top hand around your neck. And we shift as we ward off. We inhale, come back to our ball. Exhale, ward off. Inhale. Exhale. Okay, so watch me. Everybody, when they're learning Tai Chi, everybody's like thinking hard and they're like this, and then I'm like this, and I'm like that, like that. Like, let all that go and just watch this movement. And I just want you to mimic that movement. It's like water. The top sinks and this goes out. Okay, so we're going to start here. I just want you to move with me. Just mimic the movement. Don't think about what you're doing. Just woo. And then inhale to come back and let your arms get softer and softer. Notice that as your muscles get softer, your mind gets softer. Good, hold there. Now we're going to make a ball on the other side. So your right hand's on top now. And then ward off comes out this direction. We shift back to come back to our ball. Everything's soft and ward off. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Imagine you're underwater. Letting your hands float like seaweed in the ocean. Good, hold here. Now we're going to switch that ball again. And now we're going to alternate. We're going to do one that way, one this way, one that way, because that's what we do in the form. Okay, so from right here, we're going to ward off. Stop. Ball on the other side. Ward off the other way. Stop. Ball on the other side. Ward off the other way. Okay, good. Shake it out. So now we're going to work with 1, 2, 3. And I got to make sure and do it the right way for you guys because y'all are here. So that way. Yeah, so, okay. So you're going to start with your left hand on top. Boom. Other hand, Andy. Yep. Boom. Got it. And ward off. Ball on the other side. Ward off. Ball on the other side. Ward off. Okay, good. Now we're going to start again. We're going to do all 3 of those again because that's how the form opens is 3 ward offs. Starting here, we're going to ward off. Ball on the other side. Ward off. Ball on the other side. Ward off. Good, one more time. Left hand on top. Ward off. Ball on the other side. Ward off. Ball on the other side. Ward off. Good. Hold here. The next move after this low hand is going to come up, and we're going to touch wrists. And then this is my left hand, so it's your right hand is going to sink down for a low block facing towards the wall. So this hand is a high block, and the palm is facing towards you. That's your left hand, and your right hand is down near your hip for a low block. Okay? So let's do that again. We're going to do 3 ward-offs, and then that block is called white crane spreads its wings. From right here, other hand, Andy. Right here, ward off. Ball on the other side. Ward off. Ball on the other side. Ward off. Hands come up, touch the wrists. Right hand drops down for a low block. Okay, and this is facing, chest facing that wall. Boom, here. This is white crane spreads its wings. Now your feet, look down at your feet. Your feet should be in cat stance with your heels in a straight line towards the wall and your feet 45 degrees to the corner of the room. So we should be in cat stance ending here. Okay, back to center. Okay, so you guys watch now. I'm going to do this really, like this is all we're doing. Okay, it seems really complicated. This is all we're doing is this, 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 this. Okay, here, 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 here. Okay? That's all we're doing. Let's do it again from the top. Just keep your eyes on me and let your body move with mine. Ward off. Back to your ball. Ward off. Back to your ball. Ward off. Hands meet overhead, low block. Awesome. Shake it out. Okay, now here's the key. This is what makes Tai Chi so challenging, is that now we have to do all of that while we're moving, okay? So we're going to come back to our lower body. We're going to learn this walk combination one more time, and then we're going to combine the upper body with it. So take a couple steps back wherever you started when we walked before. Remember, we're starting in cat stance. Your right foot should be forward. Feet are both pointing towards the corner, 45 degrees. We shift the weight forward, shift the weight backwards, pivot the front foot, and step. Shift the weight forward, shift the weight backwards, pivot the front foot, and step. Shift forward, shift backwards, pivot the front foot, and step. Shift forward, shift backwards, pivot the front foot, and step. Okay, let's do it one more time for Joanne. Here. Shifting forward, shifting back, pivot, step, shift forward, shift back, pivot the front foot, step, shift forward, shift back, pivot the front foot, step, shift forward, shift backwards, pivot the front foot, step. Much better. Awesome. Okay, now let's add the upper arms. This is going to feel confusing and, you know, for like a while until you do it enough times and it doesn't. Cat stance, feet at 45 degrees. And now we're going to do our ball. And your left hand's going to be on top of your ball, right? And then we're going to turn so that we're facing, our chest is facing the wall. So this is where we're starting from. It's just like this, but I'm facing this way, okay? Now, as I shift my weight forward, I'm going to ward off towards you. Leave your hands where they're at. Shift your weight backwards. Pivot that front foot. And then as you step, you're going to make a ball on the other side. So that right hand is going to be the top of the ball this time. Okay, so now we're in the exact opposite where we were the other time. Right hand should be on top of the ball. Left hand's by your belly button. Yep, good. Now as I shift forward, I'm going to ward off. Leave the hands there. Shift backwards. Pivot the front foot. Step. And now the left hand's going to be on top of my ball. Shift forward as you ward off. Leave the hands there. Shift backwards. Hands come up to meet the wrists. And that front hand comes down for a low block. Awesome. Again. Cat stance. Right legs forward. Holding a ball. Left hand's on top of your ball. Ball is facing the wall. And we shift forward, ward off. Shift the weight back. Pivot that front foot. As you step, ball on the other side. That back hand's going to be on top of your ball. Shift forward, ward off. Shift back. Pivot that front foot. Step. Now that hand's going to be on top. Shift forward, ward off. And now as you shift back, both hands come up, touch the wrists. And then that front hand comes down to a low block. This is white crane spreads its wings. And you should be on the toe of that front foot, not foot down, that toe right there. Good, one more time. Here, here. Shifting forward, ward off. Shift back. Pivot that front foot. Step. Ball on the other side. Shift forward, ward off. Shift back. Pivot the front foot. Step. Ball on the other side. Shift forward, ward off. Shift back. Wrists touch. And low block from the front. Boom. Awesome. Shake it out. Okay. So there is no way to learn anything coordinated without feeling uncoordinated. Okay? You cannot get to flow without going through stumbling, confusion. And the way you get to flow is practice, right? It's the only way that it works. I'm going to show you guys what you just did because it'll be a little bit easier to comprehend. And then we're going to move to the next part. And then that's all we're going to cover today. We'll do a couple of Qigong things and then wrap it up. This is what you're doing. And let me make sure this is... Not sure the best way to show it to you so that your brain doesn't have to reverse it. But this is me doing it in the proper direction. So from here, ball on the other side, ward off, back. Ball on the other side, ward off, hands up. Make sense? And when it flows,
Turning around.
say what?
I'm like figuring which hand's under the ball.
So always the backhand, and this confuses everybody that's learning it. You do it enough times, you'll get it. I'm facing this direction, the backhand's on top of my ball. I ward off. When I come to the other side, now I'm facing this direction. This hand is now on top of the ball. This hand is now on top of the ball, right? So it's always the backhand that's going to be on top of the ball. If I'm facing this way, it's going to be this hand. If I'm facing that way, it's going to be this hand. Okay? Boom. All right. So just accept wherever you are at with that and know that you're going to have to do it over and over and over again until all of these things start to talk. And then you'll feel how all of these things connect so that this is actually a very fluid thing. But when you're learning it, it feels really like learning piano. It's like, what? I'm learning piano right now and I feel like a retard. Okay, so the next piece is repulse the monkey. And let's see, I'm gonna face this way just so you guys can see. You guys face forward. Get back in your positions though. So Nancy's at the front, you guys in the back, space yourselves so you can see yourself in the little thing. Okay, so I'm just gonna face this way so you guys can see. We're gonna do one hand straight out in front of you, one hand straight to the back. So you're gonna be like this. Okay. So Nancy,
Yes.
you're not moving. One hand straight to the front.
I'm watching. I really thought I was still watching. Sorry.
One hand straight to the front, one hand straight to the back. Okay. And then the back hand is going to curl over like you're swimming. And it's going to float past the other hand, and you're going to switch sides all the way out. Good. Hold here. So this is what I look like from the side. And this hand is going to curl like I'm swimming. And both palms are going to face each other, and they're going to float by each other as I open all the way to the other side here. Both palms are up. Back hand curls over like you're swimming. And both palms float by each other. Back hand curls all the way back, open. And then we curl. This is very much like swimming. Inhale, and then exhale as the hands float past each other. Inhale, exhale as the hands float past each other. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Relax those shoulders. Let the hands really float. Inhale. Exhale. Good. Shake out the arms. So now don't move. You're going to watch. This is what we're going to do now. We're going to combine that to the low body. If I'm in cat stance here, this way, feet are 45 degrees. This foot comes up, and I'm stepping back. This foot comes up, and I'm stepping back. Don't make this out to be complicated. You're just walking backwards, basically, with a high step at the beginning. We're going to add the arms, so it's going to look like this. Here, we're going to step, and the hands are going to swim as we switch sides. Here, raise up. We're going to step. Hands are going to swim as we switch sides. So all we're doing is this. Okay? So let's start with you guys facing the front. And you're going to have your right foot forward, and your right hand's going to be forward. We're here. Pick that foot up. You can make it pretty later. Don't worry about it. If your arms are out and your foot's up, that's perfect. Foot goes straight back. And now the back hand swims as you shift your weight. And we come all the way to the other side. Arms open out. Arms all the way forward and backwards. Front foot comes up. Step straight back. Back hand curls and swims. as we switch. Good. Arms all the way straight out, and then the front foot up. And step straight back. Backhand swims all the way to here. Boom. Good. Start over from the front. Here. Front foot comes up. Foot goes straight back towards the wall. Backhand curls like you're swimming. Switch sides. Arms all the way out. Front foot up. Foot straight back. Backhand swims all the way to here. Good. One more. That foot goes straight back. Backhand swims. Okay, good. Shake it out, and now watch again. Watch again. Here's what we're doing. So we're coming up to here, and we're stepping, and hands are just switching places. Okay, just here. That's all it is. And then we're just stepping back. Okay. One more time from the front. Cat stance, arms forward and backwards. Front foot comes up. Step back. Hands swim to switch sides. Arms all the way out. Front foot up. Step straight back. And swim to switch sides. Arms straight forward, straight back. Front foot up. Step back. Arms swim. Here. Last one, step back. Beautiful. Shake it out. Okay.
Practice that one.
Yeah, you're going to have to practice all of it. And it gets way more complicated than this, too. This is easy compared to where it's going. But watch what we're doing. This is all we're doing from right here. And then we did this. Okay? Every single piece of this each piece is simple, right? Like this is simple. But when you combine that with this, and you got to twist this way, and that it feels incredibly complex. And the only way to find the flow is doing it over and over and over. It's the only way to learn an instrument. It's the only way to learn to write. It's the only way to learn to draw. Okay, back to center. Bouncing like a spring. Release the tension in your neck, your shoulders. Release the tension in your mind. I want to be great at everything, and I can't, and that's frustrating. Like you got to struggle to learn. Good. Warm the hands up. And clap. Okay, so we're going to end with Qigong. I want you to pay attention to what you're feeling in your body. When you're doing Tai Chi, when you're learning choreography, you're not feeling. You're in a place with your mind. We're going to come back into Qigong. This is about the feeling in your body. I want you to move as slowly as you can and as softly as you can. All right, so the hands are going to start down by the sides. Shoulders are completely relaxed. Andy, scoot back a little bit for me.
Step back a little bit, Andy. You can see it.
Good. Now we're going to start with that wave coming out of the chest, pushing the elbows, then the wrists, then the fingers, all going to roll over a wave and sink down the back side. And I want you to notice what that space feels like as you move through it. Now we don't have to think about combinations. We don't have to remember things. We just have to relax and let the body flow as effortlessly as we can. And then we're going to connect the breath to that movement. So we're going to inhale to float up. And we're going to exhale to drain down. Imagine you're moving underwater. Inhale, floating up. Exhale, floating down. Beautiful. Now we're going to make a ball. And we're going to rotate the hands to the outside of the ball. And then we're going to switch the sides. Boom. And we're going to rotate that ball again. Let your fingers be soft. Let your wrists be soft, shoulders, elbows. And we're going to rotate this ball back and forth and let it get a little bit smaller each time. The slower you move, the softer your body is, the stronger the feeling of that space becomes. Let that ball get as small as like a softball. Then the palms are going to face each other's fingers going outwards, going forward. And we're going to inhale and let that space expand just a tiny bit. Exhale, let that space contract just a tiny bit. Inhale, expand. Exhale, contract. Beautiful. Now the left hand's going to float over the third eye. The right hand's going to float over the root. We're going to breathe through the palms like we have gills in the centers of our hands. Shoulders are completely soft and relaxed. Hands float like seaweed in the ocean, inhaling through the palms. Now as softly, as gently as you can, with the inhale, let both hands switch places. And then with the exhale, switch back. Inhale one direction. Exhale the other. Let your body relax just a little bit more on every single repetition. Slow down just a tiny bit and see what that does to the sensation. Should increase your awareness, increase your sensation. Beautiful. Both hands are going to float over the heart center, one palm over the other. Imagine a pillar of light coming out of your heart, shooting through both hands. And we're going to wind this pillar up really slowly by letting the hands tumble forward. Really slowly and gently. Let the hands tumble forward, and the softer your body is, the thicker this taffy is going to become. Beautiful. Now letting the palms float about the height of the waist, facing up. Shoulders are completely relaxed. We're going to let the hands float up slowly and gently like helium balloons. We'll let the hands float up until we begin feeling the shape of the face without actually touching it. You're going to see how close you can get your hands to your face without actually touching it. Then we're going to explore the shape of the face. Visualize that connection in your mind's eye. What does it look like, that awareness? And then we're going to let it stretch outwards just a tiny bit with the inhale. Let those hands expand. And with the exhale, let them contract. Inhale, expand. Exhale, contract. Beautiful. Now we're going to hold on to that connection as the hands sink down slowly and gently. We're going to let that connection stretch out like taffy. As the hands slowly sink down, all the way back down to the sides. Notice what your body feels like. Notice what your mind feels like. Accepting every sensation because every sensation is true. And every sensation is you. We accept every sensation because every sensation already is. Everything already is. And to resist it only creates tension inside of our own bodies and minds. Feet come together. Hands are going to float out and up with the shoulders completely relaxed. Inhale, floating up. Fingertips point towards each other overhead. And we exhale. Everything in the body drains down through the body into the earth. Relax even more. Inhale, floating up. Imagine water dripping down off your fingertips. Exhale, everything draining down into the earth. Last one, the most effortless thing you've ever done in your life. Inhale, floating up. Hands come to prayer pose. Exhale down to the heart center. The body, mind, and spirit are not separate components, merely different aspects of the same one experience. The more we unify the body, mind, and spirit through movement, breath, and awareness, the more effortless life becomes. Namaste. Hi. Good job, guys. How's everybody feel?
Heavy.
Heavy. I feel fuzzy. How do you feel, Joanne?
There's still a little stress there, I must say.
Okay. What does it feel like?
Relaxed.
I'm expecting myself to be perfect, and I know I can't be yet, but
You can't.
that's an ongoing facet of my life, and so I'll work on letting it go.
Good to see that pattern. Now, you should have experienced less stress in the Qigong at the end than you did during the form stuff, correct?
Yes, definitely.
Good. And Nancy, that's why we always want to end on Qigong, is to bring people back to a place where they are feeling, where they are flowing. It's not about doing stuff perfect. It's not about trying to remember. So we always open with warm-ups in Qigong, and we always end with Qigong. Also, how much you try and teach in a given class is always going to be dependent on the people that are there and the level that they're at. In some classes, you're going to have people that have never been before, and then in that same class, you've got people that have been coming the whole time, and you got to figure out a way to not completely lose the newbies and not completely bore the people that have been coming. Now if you're doing Tai Chi and you're experiencing boredom, you're not getting the point. It's like complaining about being bored when you meditate. It's like, that's why you meditate, is to get over the idea of boredom, to get over the idea that you need to be entertained in every single second, because that's called neurosis, and so Tai Chi is learning to meditate with the body. Well, Qigong is learning to meditate with the body. Tai Chi is learning to use those principles for, evolution and self-defense. There is no easy way to get it. It is an intensely complicated process of coordination, and coordination is one of the biggest challenges with people everywhere. This part of the body's doing one thing, and this part of the body's doing something different. My brain has trouble. Wait, whoa, But the only way to get coordination is to practice it. And the benefits of coordination will apply to everything you do in your life, whether you're walking, whether you're running, whether you're riding a bike or a motorcycle, or doing any type of competitive sports thing. The more developed your body is with coordination, with balance, with flow, the better these things are going to happen, like everything. That's really why it stayed with me so much, was because it affected my life in such profound ways. Any questions on anything we did today? Any internal questions, any struggles, anything else?
I just noticed that, like, when I'm bringing my hands together, Sadek, I feel like there's a resistance.
Good.
It feels like they don't want to come together.
Like magnets, right?
Yeah.
Like magnetic polarity. That means you're feeling it. That means you're feeling energy.
Okay. All right.
So some people feel it as tingles. Some people feel it as pressure. Some people feel it as polarity. Some people feel it as heat. There's no right or wrong way to feel it. Just notice how your body is processing it. Focus on that feeling, and it'll get stronger. I feel polarity too.
And I was going to say, I normally feel the polarity. I had heat today.
Awesome.
I know that's because I'm really, really tired and had a lot of shit. But it was hot. As I got closer, it was really hot. And I don't really feel that normally. It's like North Poles pushing against each other. But
so what you'll learn to find is that the mind is energy, okay? And learning to work with your body's energy, you're inherently learning to control your mind. And what you do with your mind affects your body, and it affects your energy. So if you start visualizing your hands glowing like red hot irons, they literally get hotter, okay? Or if you visualize them like magnets, then they're going to feel like polarity, right? If you visualize water dripping off your fingers when you raise them, that's going to make them feel different, okay? So you're going to want to start to notice different feelings. Sometimes you feel pressure. Sometimes you feel tingly. Sometimes you feel heat. Sometimes you feel polarity. Each of those sensations are real sensations, and they're like notes on the key. You want to learn all the different notes, right? We want to learn the ups and the downs and the sidewayses and learn all those different feelings, and then you can create music with each of those different feelings.
I added this to the practice for yoga last Saturday.
Uh-huh.
I had them, as they were laying in Savasana, I had them warm their hands and then put their hands on their heart.
Nice.
And then lift away to feel their energy. And a lot of them, afterwards, I asked them what they felt when the class was over. And they said they loved it. A number of them said they could actually feel like there was a barrier or mud. So I think somebody said mud in between where it was.
Yeah.
So they really enjoyed it.
Awesome. And always get people to talk about what they feel in terms of kinesthetics, because it just, everybody gets it. When you say mud, when you say weight, when you say pull, when you say polarity, people get it. When you say energy or like, you know, like that doesn't really mean anything. Tell me what you're actually feeling. And yoga and Tai Chi are very, you know, closely connected. Qigong is basically China's form of yoga. Like that's their yoga, you know? And so the two work really well together. And my Tai Chi teacher actually has something called Yogua Dao, and he teaches it's yoga and Tai Chi together. So he has the asanas from yoga, but he connects all the movements with the fluidity of Tai Chi. It's really cool. If you remind me, I'll send you a promo video I made for it, and you can see what it looks like. It's awesome. Great work, guys. Sorry I was late. Remember to remind me. Like, no, yeah, like you just got to remind me. I mean, especially when we got floating dates and times, and that makes it like even worse. But I'm glad you called me, and I wasn't too far away, and we made it work. Awesome stuff. Remind me again next week, 1:30 Friday, my time, 1:30, and then your teacher training is 3:30 my time Tuesday, right?
Yes.
Okay, look at that. Navigating time and space.
Really, really good.
I'm almost like a grown-up out here, you know. Look at that. All right. Great work, guys. You have a good day.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.